Hello guys, welcome to discussing Nasdaq. I'll be doing Nasdaq analysis. I'll be sharing some knowledge. I'll be sharing some thoughtful things. Okay, let's jump down to it. Let's jump down to it. As you guys can see, I'd already done my own analysis. So guys, before we can even start, I just want to say compliments into the David. You can make it. Okay. So basically, yeah, now I want to tell you guys that you know what, it's fine. It's fine to start from scratch. I know this industry is not a very easy one. It's not very easy to trade, but then I believe if like you put in the effort, you can actually come up with the right thing and using the right knowledge to the right using the right knowledge with the right skills, you can actually make it in this industry. It's not that very hard. It's not a train smash. And you guys should stop this thing of actually going to social media and trying to. What you have to understand is that these traders, they are making money from selling signals, from selling courses. So taking a 5,000 account to do that with your last 5,000, it's not as much as the currencies swing to swing. So I would like to start from the weekly time frame. That's why I normally start with my analysis all the time, and then slightly keep on decreasing that by doing. I'm looking for areas where this market has been turning, mainly areas where like I can be able to identify big trends. What do I mean by that? I'm talking about areas where this market actually turned, like this area here, it turned went to the upside. Like this area here, it turned went to the upside, turned, came down, turned there, came down. Basically, I'm going to be drawing lines on these swing highs and swing lows again. So here as well, it turned went to the upside. Here it turned, came down, and then this was the highest of all. That's where it turned, and then we saw that move. Here as well, it turned, went to the upside. So what I'm going to be drawing lines all along there. So now there's something skeptical about this. There's something very fragile about this indices. Indices in most cases from practice, and that okay. So right now I'm just going to be plotting lines, right? And then we're going to discuss that later on. We're going to discuss it later on. Okay. I want to show you guys something. It works. From experience, I know that it works, and surely does work. Truly does work. So there's really, in order for you to trade and make money, you have to be focused. As long as you're focused, then everything works out. You're focused, and don't try to be somebody else. You want to make it in this industry. It's not that very hard. As long as it's, and one thing most traders actually make, looking at the charts, that's not gonna work. As long as you have a setup, just follow the setup. And I'm not a scalp, and I don't like scalping at all. It makes you lose concentration, and then you end up actually opening up bigger lot sizes compared to what you have. And actually works. Have a trading channel. Record your trades down before you trade, and then once the market actually gets to an era with a stop loss, obviously. We don't just trade in JEs if like we are crazy. We trade with a stop loss. We trade with a stop loss. Just like people. If you wanna be scalping without a stop loss, just trading with belief that the market is gonna go in a direction, and then pay have risked too much of your money, and that is the money business. Because at the end of the day, you end up falling for what? You end up falling for those types of the market, and then you end up bringing the money. There's only one tool actually. You just have to see both ends. So here's what I was actually talking about. Nasdaq always turns around 100 numbers. You can look at this. Yeah, it turned at 9,700. It turned, it went down. Hence I drew that line there. Okay, and then yeah, we're gonna talk about zones, but then it turned at 10,400. Yeah, it turned at 11,100. Then there, it turned at 12,200. Then there, multiple times, because this is gonna treat it as a zone. It turned at 13,000. Then there, it turned at 13,700. So basically, it's all about numbers that end with 00 at the end. You get me? Here it turned, that was 14,400. Then there it was 15,200, and the last one it was 16,800. So guys, this is what guys know that this thing it has been actually creating. It has been creating. Wait, let me just look for the right thing to use. Okay, this thing all along throughout the years, it has been actually going to the upside, creating new highs throughout. Okay, so now with all this potential and the way this thing has been actually going to the upside, what can you conclude? This thing is less 100. It consists of top 1,000 companies in the USA. Once a company starts underperforming, it gets replaced by a better performing company. So those companies every day, their main aim is for to what? It is to make profit. And so saw this actually keep on growing to the upside, creating new highs. So basically from this move, I would say this is a retracement, and we still expect the move to actually break all the all-time high. Because all these companies, they are aiming at actually improving. Okay. So but then now, in order for you to trade, you have to understand price. So basically, guys could normally call it this as a demand area. But like you'd expect this market to actually swing all the way down, and then once it gets there, then we're gonna see this market actually creating those highs coming to the upside. Okay. So but then in this case, as to what is actually happening here, I don't see enough reason for me to actually say that this market right now is gonna buy and break all-time high, because now these are not the areas that I'm actually looking for. So many times we saw this actually trying here, to go to the upside, but then it failed, then came back down, and then eventually breaking below this level. And then here as well, we saw this market actually attempting to go to the upside, but then eventually we saw this coming down. And then right now it's about to break this level up until 9,700. Then I believe from then we're gonna have new highs. Okay. So, but then we're just speculating. We're not sure of what's gonna happen. So on the weekly time frame, this is what I do. I just draw these lines where this market actually turned, and then I go to a smaller time frame, basically like daily time frame. Time frame, what is it that I do? Time frame, the only thing that I'm gonna be looking at, I'm gonna be zooming out my chart. Okay. So here I'm gonna be drawing my actually happened when the market was actually coming down. Okay. So here I'm gonna have something like this. Here I'm gonna have something like support as well. If we're just gonna start here, then I'm just gonna draw it like that. Certainly, we don't need that the market now it is to come back all the way down and actually do it and actually touch here before it actually can go up to the upside. The most important one in between these two, between this and that, because now the market is on a downtrend, right? The market is on a downtrend. So now we only the most important one is going to be the diagonal resistance. This diagonal support, we're not going to be taking any bias based on that. We're not going to be taking any bias based on that. The only trades that we're going to be taking based on this diagonal support and resistance are the ones that are actually on the what? And the diagonal support. Because remember, in this case, when you want to make money out of the market, the trend is to be your friend. The trend is to be your friend. So we're just going to be trading. And if you don't want to be confused, but then if like you're still an amateur and you still don't know how to differentiate these upper ones, remove these upper lines, and then leave the ones that are in your price, leave the other ones at the top there, because those ones are going to confuse you. But then if you can look at this, remember these lines are these lines have actually been playing a very crucial role in the market. See, okay, this is what I actually had in the market. Everything checks out. Everything checked to show guys. I'm gonna remove them. Okay, just doing this just to show guys. But then use those. Okay. So I'm just gonna remove them because that's not analyzing price from what, from the current price perspective, of which the current price perspective I'm actually talking about this area here. So that's what I'm gonna be doing here. We saw the market actually creating a nice double bottom there, and then that's when we saw that move go to the upside, and then if we extend it, it becomes now a triple bottom. Okay, but then that's not what we're actually looking for, because one thing that we know for sure it is that this market actually attempted on actually this reversal. This reversal, it was possible for it to actually continue, but then it didn't actually continue. This reversal ended up what? Ended up from creating new higher lows and higher highs. It ended up creating what? It ended up creating lower lows and lower highs. So that shows that there was a change in trend. And to justify that, we can use a trend line. We're just going to meet in these 2 points, of which it is one. It is the first one and the second. So here we wanted the market to actually go to the upside to actually create new highs, but then it failed. And so the market actually breaking below. So that means now the market is still on a downtrend. We're still gonna see that those moves actually coming in. We're still gonna see those moves coming in. Okay. So remember, every time when you draw a trend line, you actually have to have what? The diagonal resistance as well. So this was gonna be my diagonal resistance. So previously in December, what we spoke about, when this market was here, gets here, we expected the market to actually come down. We expected the area, that's where we had our major zone on the diagonal resistance, and also had a third touch on this diagonal resistance of the newly started trend. So now we're just going to go to H4. Billion our entries. So for us, that's what we're going to now. So what you saw happening is that if you look at it, because now the market had actually what? It had actually touched so many times on that line. The market had touched so many times on that line. So the moment when the market actually came down here, it was going to be triple bottom there. And so the market actually reversing. So what we had expected was this market to actually create a left shoulder, create a head, and then once it breaks above, we expect that retest there. That was going to be another buy to actually to go to the retest of the trend line and also the zone here. And then that's where we actually took ourselves. Then we came down with it. From here, I knew that there was going to be some fall play. The market was going to try to actually hold up to this. But then one thing that you guys should know is that if, like, for instance, these are tricks that I'm actually giving you. I'm not supposed to be giving you. But then these are tricks that I'm actually giving you. How to know if like the market is going to break the support or resistance. So what happens here is once the market, you see the market actually coming back to play here, and then it does something like this. Then all of a sudden you see so many bounces on the support. Expect the market to actually break that support. Because it doesn't bang. Why do you expect the market to actually break that support? It's because so many touches on that support, it means that support, it is being disrespected and it is bound the market for it to actually break. So there's the same thing that actually happened here. So now we're going to be shifting this. So every line that you draw on indices, make sure that it's your. You guys are going to see, I'm not lying. This thing always changes 100 numbers. Look at this. What was the 100 number there? It was 10,800. And so this chance actually happening there so many times. So but then now I'm not going to be focusing on the left hand side because the market is already played out with the head and shoulder. So right now I'm going to be looking at this. This is what I'm going to be looking at. So what I'm going to be doing here is that here I can see that, okay, nice. You don't have to necessarily most important ones. Okay, if you can look at this one, it's very, very strong. So look at this. If you can look at this, there's no what? There's no weekly support at that area. It is on what price has been doing, but then it is not major. So yeah, it's very, you guys shouldn't be taking any buys amongst this area. If you're a scalper, you can take the buys, but then I wouldn't advise you to take the buys there. If you want to be a swinger and hold it, I would advise you all to actually wait for this market to get here, and then you want to remove this because this one's for reference. This trade here, this trade, the one that actually happened, didn't actually face any losses at all. The moment we took that trade, they actually went into profit. So let me show you all. If you want this analysis, we normally post analysis on all our social medias. You can go to Twitter, the Goat of Nasdaq, the Goat of Wall Street, sorry. But then the username is Wall Street Goat. That's the username. You can just search at Wall Street Goat. At Wall Street Goat. Okay. So that trade there, the one that actually transpired from here, we'd actually taken that trade and it went down to profit. But then the main aim was 10,400, of which we haven't reached quite 10,400. That was going to be our first take profit, 10,400 days. So we haven't reached there. So we still expect the market to actually move all the way down. Okay. So I'm just going to be showing you guys the trade because we posted this on our social media. It was on Twitter as at Wall Street Quotes. At Wall Street Quotes. Wall Street Quotes. Remember that Wall Street Quotes. So as you can see here we have it. This is our username on Twitter, and then on Instagram it's quotes of Wall Street. So yeah, here's it. If you can look at this, that's when the market was here. That's when the market was here at 12,200. We actually took that trade at 12,200, and then there it actually went to the downward. It went down as we anticipated. It was a very nice trade, risk-free. We didn't face any drawdown. The moment we opened that trade, it went to profit immediately. So we shared all those, and also we shared some other analysis as well, of which if you can look at this, we actually shared this buy. We had this buy analyzed it exactly, and then we saw the market actually breaking above, and then just going up, waited for the market to actually get there, got there, and then we took that buy. And then once it got here, that's what we actually took that sell, the one that we own right now. Okay, so what can you do right now in order for you to actually take this trade? Because now you've already missed all the opportunities to actually take this trade. The best thing that you can do, because now this was the era where you take these trades, right? The only thing that you can do right now in this case, it's either you're going to wait for the market to actually break below this area, and then you're going to have a nice stop loss there, and then you're going to put your at 400, so you can be able to risk. So the risk to reward ratio, it's very quite nice. Well, it's proper, it's massive. So here as well, if like we draw some sort of trend, you can be able to see it. Even what actually transpired on Tuesday with something like this. So, but then previously the market had not broken here. It was still like that. So this is why the reason why we took that sell there with so many confluences to actually like take the sell, of which now the market actually broke out and then it came back in. So hence now we have something like this as well. Or right now, because now you can see that the market is actually attempting on actually. This is not a head and shoulder. This is not a head and shoulder, guys. A head and shoulder, it happens at the bottom or at the top, not in the middle of the pack. Because now if you can look at this, this is actually happening in the middle of the pack. You get me? Head and shoulder, it is the one that you're going to see happening at the top of a trend or at the bottom of a trend. And then you can take your buys, then you can take your sells. But then the one that's actually happening here, and then you see it's head and shoulder, I would disagree with most of you. But then here, people will like you to actually see the market actually sink to the bottom, because obviously now the market was in the confluence of what, of the news that we had yesterday, of which it was FMC, of which they're not agreeing on actually raising the interest rates, of which it was bullish for US dollar currencies, and then it was bullish for US dollar, and then bearish for risk-free assets like Nasdaq and some other risk-free assets. Okay, so here you can be able to take this, or if now the market actually gets here, take that sell, believe in it. Then you want to have here happening. If I was you and I was about to take this trade, I would actually take it here. I would take where it is right now in the middle of the pack. I would actually take it there, knowing that I'm actually risking let me see, I'll tell you. Knowing that I'm actually risking how many points? I'm actually risking 75 points. I'm actually risking 42 points. Okay. So now this was Nasdaq. Let's jump down to what is it called? Let's jump down to USDT. So this is USDT. USDT is same thing as Nasdaq. Same thing as Nasdaq. Nothing much. It's not trend smash. You just have to follow your rules. So you withdraw with this thing actually turned. You with 37,000. I'm not gonna make them exactly because time is not on our side. This was 28,600. Okay. Then you saw the market actually chilling going to the upside. That was 29,700. Then they saw the market actually coming back down. That was 300 actually. Didn't go exactly just there, but then that was 34,300. Then we had another one. Market actually change here. 22,300. See this thing now. It's not actually going all the way there. And time is not on our side. Easy trading these things as long as you've got a plan on how to trade it. Then you're gonna 35,000 500. It turned so many times. 10 day came down, 10 day came down, 10 day came down. So that's it. Then we're also gonna have another one, yeah, of which there it was 30,600. And this is what the market actually going to the upside. See, let's say you have a line that's at for an example, let's say you have a line that's at 200. Because now remember, this is the market. It's not going to always be perfect that the market is going to come to the 100 now. So now what you have to do is you can also make it 20 points above. 20 points above you can buy. Okay, let me just for an example. If you can look at this, here we had 29,700, right? We had 29,700 there. But then the market actually turned at 29,700 in 11. So what I mean is that if like you know that the market doesn't always come straight there, you can have a zone that's 20 points above. If the market is it's still coming from the upside, then you have 10 points below. But then if like the market is actually coming from the bottom and approaching that, and you expect it to 10, you can have like probably like 10 points at the bottom, and then you can have 40 points above. That 40 points is for that area. Okay. So let's carry on where we left off. Let's carry on with what we're doing. So remember, here as well, 100 numbers everywhere. They work. 100 numbers everywhere. Those were 100. Actually, let me just try to correct this. They did 3,500. There we have it. The market also 10, they came down. 10, they went up. 10, they went up. 10, they came down. 10, they went up. 10, they went up. 10, they came down. Well, then that one I'm not going to draw with me. I'm not going to draw this one. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. And then we're going to go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, what can you see? I'm not disputing that this market actually broke. Like this market was on a downtrend. This market was on a downtrend. But then recently, also the market actually breaking that trend, going to the upside. But then the fact that the market actually broke that trend going to the upside, I'm not going to say this market is still on it. It's now going in an uptrend, because the least that I can do in order for me to actually conclude that this market is going on an uptrend, I expected the market to actually break above this area and then just continue going to the upside, because this was the swing low, swing high, I mean. So I expected the market to actually, after breaking here, just to continue going to the upside. But then what did it do? It didn't do just exactly that. How do you tell when the market is on an uptrend or when it's on a downtrend? When the market is on an uptrend, it creates higher lows and higher highs. What do I mean? It creates higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. That's when it's on an uptrend. But in the market, the moment it's on an uptrend, then it switches from creating higher highs and higher lows, then it starts creating lower lows and lower highs like this. Just know that the thing is about to go on a downtrend. So that's what's actually happening here. The market went up, creating higher highs, higher lows, but then recently did what? Switched from creating higher highs and higher lows to creating lower lows and lower highs. So this thing is still on a downtrend, still on a downtrend. So I'm just going to draw my trend line there, my diagonal support. Remember, you can just put it like this. Then I can have my diagonal, I can have my diagonal resistance. Okay, you can have my diagonal resistance. Something's going to be something like that. You get it? It's going to be something like that. So now this thing, let's go. So same thing actually still applies here. If you can look at it, these zones they actually play a major role. Like these zones they actually play a major role. Daily time frame, you're still going to encounter the same things. Still going to encounter the same things. For me, doing all those things like the zones around the zones 18. So now we're just going to move from here to the daily time to H4. Like H4 when it comes to USDT, H4 that's where you're gonna see it nicely. You know? H4 that's where you're gonna see it nice. So remember on H4 we're dragging our trends. So this is a new trend because the previous ones, they've already been broken. I'm also gonna drag another one here. I can just put it like that, just like that. And I have it. Okay. There you go. So here's what was a third touch, a very nice third touch there, and so the market actually coming down. Okay. So on H4, this is what you have. So in H4, what can you conclude from this? On H4, what you can conclude is that this area here is from the weekly. It is a huge major zone. That's what we can conclude. That's what we can conclude. That this area is a very important zone. Then what we can conclude as well, it is that even though we haven't reached that area, but then let's look down to it. Okay, that's what we can conclude there. But then this line here, this horizontal support, I'm not going to use it as much. Created too many horizontal supports and it kept on breaking and disrespecting them. So I'm going to try and come up with something else that's going to be useful. It's a flag. It's a flag. So this is what we call a flag. It's a flag. So now this is what I have. So here we'll be expecting to take our sell entries. Once the market actually gets there, we actually took in some sell entries, but then we actually did what. So this is going to be your first take profit. We'd actually taken some sales there, but then you see how the market is acting right now. We took some sales, it went down, came back here to this flag, then it rejected, went to the upside. So now we're about to take some more entries into the sales, just like that. This one you can just point it out there. But then if like you go to the weekly, to the daily, I mean sorry, you can be able to tell where this market is actually going. It's actually going. Because once it breaks there, it means that it's a continuation. Let's go to the weekly to identify where this thing is actually going. That's what it is actually going. Same thing I would say right now, since the market is like this, I would say here on your stage, we expect the same thing for the market to actually come back to somewhere there. This is going to be your demand area. Once the market actually is the demand, then that's when you're going to see what, that's when you're going to see. You want to see these things actually happening. You want to see the market actually aiming for to break the all-time highs. So this is what we normally expect. Yeah, and then we decide on what's going to do. But then I would say this is the demand that we actually aiming for the market to actually come up. Once it is there, then we're going to have some nice profits going down. As well, for those who've been my students for a long time, they know every knowledge that I have, I share with them. So here we had what? We have some candle filling to do. So I still believe the market is still going to break down that move to down there to fill up that candle. Then after filling up that candle, it's going to decide on actually coming down. And then from there, that's when we're going to have that bullish move going to the other side. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. That's all I would actually have to say with USDT. USDT is not it's not much of an art like Nasdaq, because this thing can be too much confusing. But then if once you got it like this, then everything's good. As long as you come back there, and then you're gonna have that step. Believe me or not, it's gonna come down. It's gonna come down. Believe me or not, it's gonna come down. So that's all. There's nothing much that we're gonna look at. That's gonna be all for the need to do. Even on the daily, it's still visible with something we need to do around that area there. So this area as well, that can be a take profit. Once it breaks below, then you're gonna be having another sell entry. Once it breaks below, you're gonna have another sell entry. You're gonna have another sell entry to there. I hope this was useful, guys. And I hope you guys actually enjoyed. See you all guys on the next one, and happy trading.